What is up, everybody? Welcome back, my chance. Today is part 2 of my F1 26 career mode. Last race we managed the 13th place, and we didn't manage any points, but it was my first race. Today we are here in China. It's a sprint weekend, so we are here in sprint quali, which was not my proudest qualifying session. We are going to be starting from the back of the grid in second, Mass in 21st. But we're gonna have to figure our way out of there, as my teammate qualifies very well in P9. And here we are going off to the Chinese sprint race. Let's see what result we can get here. We're gonna be maybe aiming for, let's see, like a P15 or above, just like we did for the Australian GP. P15 or above for the sprint race. It's gonna be difficult, but I think we can get a couple places off the start. So yeah, we will see what we can get today here in the Chinese sprint race. Hopefully a good result. Doesn't have to be points yet. We're still not there yet. I think we'll have to see by the race, which I would like to get points in the Chinese race. But we'll have to see what we do in qualifying for the actual race, not just the sprint. But right now we are in the sprint, and we're going to use it as practice for the race. It's a 10-lap race. We're going to go off to 5 red lights here in China, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go off to the Chinese sprint race. We have the two McLaren starting from the front row, the two Ferraris following them behind, with George Russell and Carlos Sainz right behind him. As we have there Pierre Gasly, if I'm not wrong, going on for a move for P8, and now fighting with Max Verstappen for P7, Oliver Bearman and my teammate Gabriel Bortoleto fighting for P14, as I managed up to P15. As you guys can see here, my race POV from the start here, as we started behind Arvin Lindblad. I didn't have the best of starts here, as Lance Stroll was already getting a move done on me here, but I deploy some ERS, I get a good amount of speed into turn 1, and I'm going to be using a very cheeky move here down the inside to go up to P14, P13 now. That was a very good move, as there was the space and I went for it. It was pretty daring, but we managed to find that space. We got it done. We're going to be letting my teammate pass, and we're going to be fighting now with Bottas for P14. We're in P15 where we wanted to be from the start of the race, but I think we could do more, as we're going down the inside of Bottas and into the dive bomb into my teammates here. We're going to be going side by side for P13, no P14. It is P13 for me here. And now we're chasing Oliver Bearman, as it was an excellent start for me. As there we have Colapinto spinning out, and now in P22. It does look like the Alpines are having a good race, as Pierre Gasly also retires. So there's no points for Alpine this race here, as both of them, in a span of 1 lap, have screwed up the race. This is my POV here of Pierre Gasly retiring, as I'm now up into P11. And we're going to be having a yellow flag here in lap 5. Lando Norris leading pretty good. He should be having a pretty calm race going into the hairpin here, as long as he doesn't. He's stupid as he spins, and now he's in a very bad position here, as he was leading the race. You have here Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz fighting, and I was about to say, as long as he doesn't do anything stupid, he should be fine. And this guy spins out, and even I get to overtake the previous race leader and the championship leader, Lando Norris, as he has spun out and ruined his race and ruined his chances of points, as he's in 20th place. That's great for the Ferraris, as Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton will be gaining points on McLaren today. They'll have more points than the constructors, as here we're going to be coming into the end of the race. I will be getting a P10, which is a very impressive result, as we started from P21st. We gained 11 positions this race, which was amazing. We did have some luck with the Lando Norris spin and the Pierre Gasly DNFing, but nonetheless, we do get P10 and driver of the day, so pretty impressive. But we had 2 people spinning, and one of them DNFing, so it's a pretty hectic sprint weekend so far, as my teammate has not had the best race. I started P9, now he's in P14. We have chance for points, and I think he ruined it there, but we'll have to see in the Chinese qualifying here. And as long as we can get up into around P13 or better for quali, I think points is in the cards. P13 or better, that's what I'm hoping for. I think that we have the car to do that here in China. I've clearly proved it in the sprint. So yeah, here we are in Q1, coming into the end of our lap here, as I'm pretty sure quali would have been done by now, as we're going to be finishing our lap here in P11. Alright, not bad at all, as we'll be advancing to qualifying 2. My teammate gets eliminated, so he's out of qualifying, so I'm the only Audi left here. In Q2 we go. Let's see where we can finish here in qualifying. We did only one lap and we are up into P12. Hopefully we can maintain that one there, and we do. We managed to start from P12 on the grid. Point is there. We can get points this race, hopefully. We just have to work for it. So see what we can do here. Starting just behind Liam Lawson in the V car, just in front of the Haas cars, which I think should be pretty good rivals to us this season as we're going into the Chinese GP.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once again. It's a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first win with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt there's plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, George Russell and Sainz, Verstappen, Albon, Antonelli and Isaac Hadjar, Lawson, Rodriguez, Esteban Ocon and Behrman, Lindblad, Bottas, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, Bortoleto, Colapinto, Perez, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Alright guys, here we are, starting from P12 on the grid. I'm gonna be honest, I was looking at the strategy screen before this, and I'm not on board fully with the strategy. To be in softs for part of this race. I will not be very happy about that one there, since this track's pretty much a tire killer. We will be saving some battery going to turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3, since it's a very good place to lift off, but still not very happy with it, having to use softs here in China, but we'll see what we can do until the race, till the end of the race. So yeah, let's just hope that we can do good. Hopefully the strategy works out well. And we're going to be starting off the race here on P12, which is not bad at all. A very good qualifying, as I do say so myself. As we're going to be getting off to 5 red lights here in China, so it's going to be lights out, and away we go off to the Chinese GP. The two McLarens started off pretty good with the two Ferraris following behind them, just as in the sprint race, pretty much. The only difference is Sainz in front of them, as here is 3 wide between Albon, Antonelli, and Hadjar. They're fighting for P8 here, still side by side going into turn 1 and into turn 2. Who will be on top of this one here? It looks like Antonelli is going to get the edge over here, getting a P8 with Hadjar in P9 and Albon in P10, as now Albon's getting attacked by me for P10, but I managed to go to the inside, get that overtake done, and maybe pressure a little bit Hadjar here to go into P9, as I had a pretty hectic start here, managing to overtake Lawson, Hadjar and Albon there. I didn't even really notice it here on the replay. It was a very quiet start until I started fighting with those two there. As now we are going to be seeing Alonso, Bottas and my teammate here fighting here between Bortoleto and Bottas for P17. As my teammate seems to be losing that one, he gets it back there with a bit more grip there and a bit more speed going out to that corner. They're still side by side, and Bottas gets the better of my teammate there, getting that position on him. As now in lap 4, I will be overtaking Antonelli, taking advantage of the fighting between me and Verstappen, and we get that overtake done also on Verstappen there. Since they were fighting, they lost a little bit of speed. They're still fighting here, going into turn 1, and I really just took advantage of that, and now I'm chasing down the pack for Sainz, Hamilton, and Albon. I mean, Sainz, Hamilton, and Russell. As now we're chasing them down, and we have Antonelli actually overtaking me. And now we are going to be trying to keep up with Antonelli. Antonelli somehow actually helps me fighting with Russell, and now I will be going for a dive bomb on Russell there, as I had a bit more speed going to the corner there, and we get that one done on Russell. So somehow, me letting Antonelli pass, even though he has a way faster car, helped me out in a bit, as now we have Lawson and Ocon, and it looks like Ocon is going to be out of the race. Is that so? Because he just went out of track for no reason, and yes, Ocon is out of the Chinese Grand Prix. Not a very good race for the Haas driver, as also Alonso seems to be DNFing. What is on with today and the cars? We have 2 cars DNFing in lap 7, as now I'm going behind Antonelli and Sainz, as it's gonna be a red flag. Yeah, two cars DNFing in the same lap, and we get a red flag, the first red flag of the session, and that red flag did not help me out too much, because now I'm gonna have to be switching carriers, and I don't think I have another hard compound, so that's gonna be pretty bad for me. We're gonna have to be going from softs now, doing 6 laps on the soft to change into the mediums. This did not help me out on the Chinese, so we're just going to be going off the fire lights once again into the second start of the Chinese Grand Prix here in lap 10, as McLaren still retain the lead with Charles Leclerc in third, and as I'm going for a move here on Max Verstappen, I mean Isaac Hadjar, and I get it done on Isaac Hadjar here. And now we're seeing me going on a move on Antonelli. Once again, I'm around the outside, he's on the inside. Am I gonna get this one done? No, I'm not for now at least, as Antonelli manages to keep his P6 as I'm in P7 now. And now we have Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz surprisingly fighting for P4. Carlos Sainz is having an astronomically good race here in P4. He's fighting up with the leaders, just like I am actually having a really good race, as I'm going to be going on an overtake on the Italian driver here, Kimi Antonelli. I got the DRS, I got the slipstream, I got all of that, and I get it done on him here. Get it done on both of the Mercedes drivers. I am outdoing both Mercedes drivers, and in the RD sheet they have the best car so far. So that's a pretty good job here, as also Sainz absolutely cooking the Ferraris here. He's in P3, and now Antonelli gets this overtake done on me here around the outside, and I think he's going to be keeping that position, as I do not have the car to keep up with these guys. They have a way better car than I do, as I'm going to be diving into the pits here in lap 15 for a fresh pair of medium tires. We're going to be getting new mediums on, just as the race strategy. Now we have another 13 laps with these mediums, so let's make them live, let's make them survive these next 13 laps. And yeah, as now we're gonna be having me and Verstappen here fighting for P12. Verstappen on my inside, going for that overtake on the hairpin. I have a little bit of a better exit there, although he did get that overtake done. We're still side by side a bit there for a little bit. I get into this inside here, going around the turn here. We are still side by side going through these corners. I'm not going to give up here, as me and Max Verstappen cannot be separated. Max Verstappen gets a very bad exit through that turn there. I still keep it side by side, and he backs off, and I get it done. Very good overtake there for me, getting back into P12. The 2 Ferraris are just in front of us here, as going into lap 20 out of 28, we have Max Verstappen coming back at me once again, going for that overtake. He's on the outside, now he's going to be in the inside. He squeezes me a little bit there with a little bit of contact. We're still side by side. I have a slightly better advantage there around the corner, better exit, and I get that one done on Verstappen. As here in lap 20 still, and there's a good amount of cars pitting, and Max Verstappen gets the overtake done here, and I think this might be it for me. Am I going to get that overtake back on him? I have the inside there, but I cannot push the car in out of the air. As we have Arvin Lindblad driving here, he was fighting with Albon, as Arvin Lindblad has spun, and yeah, he's forcing Albon when Colo Pinto and all of the other cars to stop, creating a blockade. I think that's going to be a red flag, and he crashed into Stroll somehow. We have 2 DNFs, and now we have another blockade here because of Arvin Lindblad spinning. And is that going to be a red flag? Yes, it is. Due to many cars staying still on track, we have another red flag. Now, is this red flag going to help me out? Sort of, because we're going into the 3rd start of the race as 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out once again. I get a fresh pair of softs. I got to make them live for another 6 laps. As long as I can do that and secure points, I will be more than happy with that, as I do have new tires. This red flag did help me out, because a lot of cars do not have fresh tires, as it's 3 wide now between me, Verstappen, and I'm pretty sure Hamilton here side by side. Verstappen in the middle, Hamilton on the left, and me on the right. We're still side by side. Am I gonna get a position through the start here? As I'm going for that overtake on Max Verstappen. We have Leclerc and Sainz now fighting for P3. I'm trying to get that overtake down on Max Verstappen. We're still side by side, as we're seeing here the fight between Sainz and Leclerc. As I get that overtake done on the Dutch driver, on the 4-time world champion Max Verstappen, as the 2 McLarens fighting for first place. It seems like Lando Norris is going to get that position on Oscar Piastri. Hopefully he does not spin just like on the sprint race, as I'm also trying to get a move done on Lewis Hamilton here for P5, and I lose a position to Antonelli, going down to P7 now, as now we have the 2 McLarens fighting once again for first place, for the lead of this race here. And it looks like they are slowing each other down a lot by fighting here, as Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton are catching up. Now Lewis Hamilton and Sainz fighting for P4, as I'm just behind them looking and waiting for my opportunity to overtake the Spanish driver, as I'm going to get that one done on Carlos Sainz. We're still side by side. There's a lot of confusion there with the cars. Am I going to get that one done also on Lewis Hamilton, as I've done this move before in the same race? And am I going to do it again, as in the end of the race you have Lando Norris winning with Piastri in second, Leclerc coming in third, a Ferrari podium, and a Ferrari 4th place with Lewis Hamilton. As I manage a miracle somehow, starting from P12, managing points out of a bit of luck and a lot of skill here, keeping up with the top teams, and we get P5. That's an amazing result here for us. I am honestly really impressed with that one there. I'm very impressed with myself here, managing to go from P12 to P5. I mean, we did have a good amount of luck on the second red flag there. We kept up with the bigger cars. We did like Sainz kind of did, and Sainz managed what? P6, I think. He had some bad luck with the second red flag. As I get driver of the day, I'm very happy about this result. This is an amazing result. A P5 in my second race. We had some luck in there, but I cannot complain, as McLaren gets a 1-2. Right now they are absolutely dominating. As I thought Mercedes had the best car. Right now I think McLaren has the best car. Another win for Lando Norris, second win. He won last race, he wins this race now. So we'll have to see between Ferrari and McLaren, their championships. I think it's going to be the Constructors' Championship between them, as they were tied at 33 points each last race. Now McLaren has the edge over them, but not by much, because Ferrari did finish in third and fourth. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. The championship's starting to get really interesting now between Ferrari and McLaren, as Lando Norris is going to be taking that winner's trophy home, as he had a very good race after that disappointment in the sprint. And yeah, we'll see here, as I had a really good race, honestly. I'm very happy about our results today. And now we will be going into 8th place in the Drivers' Championship and in 5th in the Constructors. We also have Ferrari and McLaren here. Ferrari with 72 points, McLaren with 84, and Lando Norris leading the Drivers' Championship with 50 points. Charles Leclerc in second with 37, and Lewis Hamilton in third. And I think it was a very good race, more than I could have hoped for. And I think we did pretty good. Next race is Japan. Hopefully we get another great result just like this one. I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.